Hello and welcome. In this video, I want to take a deeper look into the delete actions inside the student controller. So let's begin. First, we talked about the delete view, and we have something like this over here. But what about the actions that we're gonna run to see something like this or to delete the selected record? To do that, if I take a look over here inside the controller, the student controller, I have the delete action. It is async delete action with the parameter ID over here. Then if I scroll down, I have another one, and it is the HTTP post and another action over here, and its name is delete confirm. Indeed, if you want to delete the record, you need to add two actions. First, for loading the delete web page or the view, indeed to load this view. And the next one is deleting the record after clicking on the delete button. So the second one is the delete confirm, and if I scroll down, the delete confirm. So let's start working with the first one. It is the delete. As you see, it is the async task, and the return type is iActionResult. First, we talked about this matter. It is async or asynchronous. Then I have the ID as the integer as the parameter of the delete. So if I take a look over here and come to this, as you see over here, I have the student delete and the number 6. And if I get back to the list, now if I right click over here, then the inspect and get inside one of these records, for instance, this one, the last one. As you see, I have the students, then the delete and the number 6 or the selected record ID, and you can see the 6 over here. So after clicking on the delete, I'm gonna use the students, the delete, and come over here, the students, this is the student controller, then the delete. Inside the delete, I have the ID, and currently it is the 6 for the last record for this, also 5 for this, then the 3 to up to the end. So I have the ID that is the selected record ID, and check if the ID is null or check if the context student is null. Then return the not found. First we talked about the not found, and it is 404 page. Now it's time to load the data for the appropriate and selected record. Indeed, I'm over here, and if I click on this button, so I want to load the data for this. It's really simple. First we talked about similar matter in the details. In the details, if I click on the details button or the link, so we have similar matter. And come over here, if I click on the delete, we have the similar but with some changes, something like the delete and also this text to the user. Now if I take a look over here, I have the next line, and inside it I have the await or wait until completing of this code. What is the code? It's really simple. Just load the student data and find the first or the default. It is asynchronous, so we can run it simultaneously. Also, I have the await over here. It means wait until completing of this line of the code. So load the student data, the first record or the default one, where the ID of the user is like the selected ID. This is the ID that is sent over here or selected by the user. And as I mentioned, this is the lambda expression, and the only thing I need is using and assigning the parameter. This is the parameter, and if you hover on it, its type is a student. So you can write anything that you want. Also, if you hover on the first or default, here I have the student as the parameter. Instead of the M, you can write, for instance, the ST or S2. It stands for a student, and change it over here, the s2.id. So it means load the data when the ID of the user is like the selected ID. Now if the student is null, return not found. The not found is indeed the page with the code 404. Previously we talked about this matter. And if the student is not null, easily return the view. Which view? The delete view. If I take a look, indeed this view. So the result is like this. Now I want to delete this user. Then click on the delete button. So as I mentioned previously, if I take a look in the delete over here, I have the form at the bottom of my page. And then I have the delete button. Its type is submit. So submit the data to the server. Which data? This data, the ID of the selected user. Then if I take a look over here inside the controller and scroll down, for the post action I have this method. Indeed, it is the HTTP post. For which action? For the action delete. Indeed, for this action. Now I have the ID. And as you see, I have the task. It is async task or asynchronous task, and delete confirmed. It means the user is clicked on this delete button. Then if I take a look, I have the ID. The ID is inside the hidden text, or exactly over here, the hidden text. And after that, check if the student is null. So show this error message to the user. And if it's not, come over here and find the student with this ID. And it is async because I want to execute this method simultaneously with all the methods and the codes on my server. Then wait. So wait until finding the user with this ID. Now if the student is not null, then easily remove that. And after that, save back the changes. And finally redirect to the index page easily and quickly. So if I take a look over here, come to back and add the new record and the test, for instance, and create. Now let's delete this, the delete. So this web page and delete. So back to the index page. Now for better understanding, I can easily come over here, add the new record. Then I can come over here and add the breakpoint over here. And the next breakpoint exactly over here and debug the project. Let's be patient. So this is my record. That's I want to delete that and click on the delete button. As you see, the first method is running and I have the ID. That ID is 13. Exactly my ID. If I take a look, the ID 13. I want to delete this record and the ID is null. No, it's not null. So go to the next line. Now it's time to search the students by the ID 13 and assign it to the student. So my student is like this, the age, the first name up to the end. Now I have the student, and if I go to the next line and return the view. So the view is returned successfully, and if I continue, so I'm over here inside this web page. Now if I click on this button, then the ID of this user will send to the controller. So click on the delete. As you see, the delete confirmed is successfully fired because of this line of the code, the HTTP post action delete. So this method is executed after clicking on the delete because of this one, the HTTP post and the action delete. Go to the next line and go to the next line and find this user. Which user? The ID 13. So it's not null. Go to the next line, then remove that. Remove this student from the students list. Then come over here and save back the changes and redirect to the index page. And this is the result and continue. So it's deleted successfully and easily. Congratulations, we did it. Now we learned more about the actions for deleting the records. So what about the next step? In the next step, I'm going to talk more about the edit and the create buttons. It's time consuming, so stay with me. Thanks for your time.